Good boy, stay. Whew. Hello, my name is Rodney with K9Signs.net. Like, subscribe, all of the YouTube things. Go ahead and hit that bell, ring it. So, in this video, I'm going to teach you how to get your dog's attention. And also, I'm going to give you an introduction to dog dominance. Okay, but first, let's recap. Rule number 1, do not beat your dog. Okay, the idea that your dog needs a healthy amount of fear of their owner is just false. Please don't beat your dog or kick them or any of that. Rule number 2, your dog speaks with their entire body. It is best read from tail to head. Once you get more fluent, you're going to be able to read the entire body all at once. Rule number 3, you choose when you're going to communicate with your dog. And when you do communicate with your dog, you should use the flow of communication. It's a 5-step pattern. Step 1, your dog is doing something. Step 2, you give your dog a command. Step 3, your dog follows that command. Step 4, you're genuinely happy and give them praise. Step 5, check for waggy tail. Okay? It's very important that you remember that flow of communication, because what we're trying to do here is end up with happy dog owner and happy dog every communication. Okay? And in this video, we're going to go over rule number 4. Dominance does not mean dominate. I know they sound similar. Respectfully, respectively. They have a whole word that's identical on the inside of both words, but they mean completely different things. Dominance is a communication style that your dog uses to get your attention and change your behavior. It can also have a lot of emotion when they do dominance, or when you can do dominance. Dominate breaks rule number 1. Okay, we're not doing any sort of overwhelming power or force in any of these techniques that I'm going to teach you. Okay, so the first aspect of dominance that I'd like to teach you is where a dog expects to receive dominance techniques. Okay, where they expect to receive dominance techniques. The first place is the neck, right? The neck. Not the spine. Good boy, stay. Not the spine, not the throat. The muscular part of the neck. They expect to receive dominance there. Number 2 is the chest, the fleshy part of the chest area. Some dogs have narrow chests, some dogs have wide chests. Anywhere on the chest, all the way down to the bone that kind of comes this way, chest area. Number 3, the ribs, okay? Not the spine, never the spine, the ribs, all the way down to the belly here, right? The ribs. Doesn't matter if it's on the bone or in between ribs, just anywhere on the rib area. And number 4 is the posterior, kind of where the hairs change direction and kind of meet. Sometimes there's lines, sometimes there's points. Those are very sensitive. Dogs expect dominance there. All right? The dominance techniques that you should use on these areas are nose, headbutt, or teeth. All right? We're going to talk about teeth in a minute. First, I want to talk about nose and headbutt. So nose is 3 fingers. You can use knuckles, 1, 2. You can use a thumb. You can use your big toe. Okay? Dogs speak with their entire body. It's okay for you to speak with your entire body. Okay? Doesn't mean kick them. It means use your big toe to nose them. All right? Because the whole point of any time you use a dominance technique is attention. Attention, headbutt, right? Palm of your hand is good for headbutt. Side of your fist, not a punch. Side of your fist, depending on what side of your body they're on, is good for headbutt. The ball of your heel is good for headbutt. When you have a shoe on, the corner of your shoe is good for nose. Okay? Again, you're not kicking them, right? Look, right? If I kick them, there's no dog in the world that you can train not to flinch, right? See, look at this. No flinching. There's no way you can train them not to flinch, right? You don't kick them, you don't punch them. You nose them, you headbutt them, you nose them, headbutt them. Knee is also good for headbutt. Shin is good for nose. Okay? Again, just attention, attention, attention. All right? You're not in any way kicking or punching them. Just nose. The force that you need to use is ever so slightly more than the force they are using to do whatever action they're doing. Right? So if they're lunging, it is perfectly okay to give them a solid attention. Attention. You're not going to hurt your dog. Okay? You see them wrestle at dog parks. Nothing you're going to do, even if you try with your maximum strength, is going to be nearly as hard as what they do to themselves when they're playing. Because remember, your intention is not punishment. Okay? It is not vengeance. It is not to fear. It is get their attention. That's it. That's what dominance is about, is getting their attention. Once you have their attention, you're going to finish the flow of communication, right? And step 4 is be genuinely happy. So if you're doing all of those things for vengeance or pain or anger, you're not following the flow of communication. Okay? You're doing it for attention. And you need to keep doing it until you have their attention. Okay? So, with respect to teeth, right? Because everybody knows, you put your hand close to a dog, they start growling, you keep going, boom, teeth. They don't care if they break your skin, right? Teeth. It's going to change your behavior and get your attention. Right? It's like, whoa, okay, never mind. Success. Dog dominance. Okay? In order, good boy, stay. In order to imitate teeth, I recommend you go and purchase a prong collar. I really like this style collar for bigger dogs because it has the bigger prongs. The way that you're going to want to make sure it fits, right? Bruno, come here. Yeah, good boy. Sit. Yeah. The way you're going to want to make sure it fits is nice and loose around the neck. Right? You want to be able to put your hand inside the prong collar and have some space. Okay? Right? This isn't put it right up against their skin. No. Okay? This style of prong collar is significantly more adjustable. The size of the prong collar that you're going to want to use depends on the size of your dog. There's smaller ones for smaller dogs. The ones that look like this are easy to adjust. You just pinch right here, and you can even take a prong off, put prongs on. Perfectly fine. Good boy, stay. Good boy, yeah, stay. Put prongs on, take prongs off. Again, yeah, good boy. Just put it on like this, right? Plenty of space, plenty of space. Put my hand right in between there. All right. Good boy. Yeah, stay. Prong collars. All right. Never use that chain only choke collar because it literally chokes them and you're not supposed to do anything on the throat because it doesn't make sense to them. Okay. Prong collars bites to the neck. It bites all the muscles on the neck instantly. All right. How to use a prong collar is I like these leashes that are retractable because it really lets you have a good conversation with them while you're walking. Lets them in, lets them out. You can say heel. You can say okay and let them out. You can really do a lot of commands, okay? So the way you use a prong collar, right? Every sibling knows that you are not safe around a towel, an old t-shirt, heck, even a pillow cover. Somebody gonna wind that up, flick it. And that satisfaction that you get from just the right pop and scream from your other sibling and the chase is on. That wrist action is what you're going to need for a good bite. Okay? Again, you're not moving their neck or body with this prong collar. All right? Never. Not the intention, but it is perfectly fine to speak to them how they speak to you. They speak to you with their teeth. It's okay to have teeth and speak to them. Again, you're only getting their attention. Never about vengeance, never about pain. It's about attention. If they're pulling really hard, it's okay to get their attention a little bit harder. All right? You're not hurting your dog because you're not doing it to hurt your dog. You're doing it to get their attention. And you're only ever doing it after you give a command and they don't obey. Okay? Because you're getting their attention to flow to step 3, which is your dog does the command. Right? So if you're walking and your dog is pulling and you're saying heel, it's perfectly fine to give them 2, 3, 5, even 10 bites. Now, if you're getting up to 5 or 10 bites and they still haven't obeyed you, remember, I just gave you 2 other ways to get their attention, right? Chest, headbutt, nose to the ribs. Okay? So don't just rely on one way to get their attention. You have multiple tools. So those are the physical ways of getting their attention. Now, I'm going to move into both physical and psychological ways of getting their attention. The first aspect in this area of dominance is going to be positional dominance. Okay? Between nose, headbutt, teeth, and positional dominance, that is going to be 90% of your communication with your dog whenever they don't do what you say. Okay? Positional dominance is when you get literally in front of your dog. You don't have to be face to face, just in front of your dog. You see, he's already like, what do you want? So you get in front of your dog, it gives them 2 pieces of information. Number 1, you want their attention. And number 2, whatever's behind you is yours, right? Under your protection. Okay? Remember last video, I said if your dog is chewing on your couch, you need to stand in between your couch in front of your dog, right? That was positional dominance. That way you're getting their attention And then you're giving them a command, or you're giving a command, getting their attention, and getting them to go to where they want. Right? Because sometimes you're going to have to do the dominance move first before you give the command, because you want to get their attention first. It's okay. It's a language, right? Nobody speaks the language the same way as everybody else. These are guidelines, right? I'm giving you a process to succeed. So, positional dominance. Okay? Get in front of your dog. You're going to use this to resolve a lot of behaviors. All right? Remember last video I was talking about your dog jumping on the bed. Don't let your dog just jump on the bed. You get in front of your bed, in between you and the dog. Give them a command. And then the praise and reward aspect is you let them jump on the bed. Remember, it's not who gets on the bed first or second. It's who gives permission to get on the bed at all. That's your leadership. Right? You use dominance to reinforce your leadership. Okay? Out the bedroom door. Stand in front of the door. Don't let them out. They try to go around you. Boom, nose. Give them a command. Sit. Right? Because you want them to succeed. You're not here to have them fail, so that way you're just like constantly pecking at them. It's not the goal. You want them to succeed. Every communication you have, you want waggy tail from them, genuinely happy from you. Okay? So, as you're doing these dominance techniques, always make sure you're also giving a command. Okay? The easiest one is sit her down, because it's right there, right in front of you. Okay? So, someone knocks on your door, your dog sprints at the door, starts barking. What if that's your friend? Get in front of the door. Don't let them just jump on the door and claw at it and everything. It's not their door. It's your door. All right? Positional dominance. Give them a command. Bed. Good boy, stay. Using the commands I use, so they might think it. So, give them a command, right? And then walk them back. Boom, boom, to the ribs. Boom, to the chest. Attention, 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 attention. Okay? Once they get on the bed, genuinely happy, give them praise. It's not that's right. No, none of that. Genuinely happy, give them praise. Okay? We're keying in on the fact that they love to make us happy. So we have to let them know that they're making us happy by doing the thing that we say. Genuinely happy, give them praise. Not about vengeance, not about pain, about attention. Okay? So, there's two aspects that are going to stem from that, because if you haven't previously established that you're the leader, they might do some other forms of dominance at this point when you're being very dominant. Okay? So, the next aspect of dominance that I want to go over is speed dominance. Okay? Speed dominance can happen if you get in front of the door and you're trying to back them down, and instead of backing down, all of a sudden they start running. They're not running away from you. If you notice, they're going to start running and put their tail right between their legs and run at an incredibly fast speed. Right? What they're trying to do is say, everywhere I'm running belongs to me. Okay? This is mine. You are not supposed to chase them when they do this. Okay? You're not supposed to trap them in a corner. Okay? What you do is you wait it out. If you're able, it is also okay to try to establish positional dominance while they're running, i.e. trying to get in the way of where they're going to run. Now, understand, be prepared. They might run into you. They might tooth you. They might headbutt you. We're speaking to them how they speak to each other. Be prepared. Okay? Might hurt. Just facts. I'm not here sugarcoating anything. Okay? So, if you are physically able, good boy, stay. If you are physically able, get in the way. It doesn't mean stop them. It just means try to get in the way. Right? Because what's going to happen is you are kind of going side to side ever so slightly, and they are running at max speed over and over on all of what their territory is. Okay? They're going to get tired. And eventually, one time, you're going to actually be able to get in front of them, and they're going to stop and just kind of look at you. At that point, give them a command. Down. Did they go down? All is forgiven. Genuinely happy? Give them praise. All right, you won that encounter. They're no longer running. They're no longer barking at the door. They're doing what you say. Then, time to go to bed. Pet them, give them a stay. Go answer your door. Okay. Now, they're obeying you. You're speaking their language. They will understand it quickly. And it's very unlikely they're going to try to do all that again. If they do, just do the same thing. And eventually, it's just going to stop. Because you're going to win every time. Because you know the pattern ahead of time. Okay? Now, that's speed dominance. The next type of dominance that I'm going to introduce you to is prone dominance. Okay? Prone dominance is used whenever they have been very rowdy or disrespectful or just refuse to do a lot of commands. Okay? You should only use prone dominance as a last resort. Okay? So, you're never going to just jump into prone dominance. You're going to always start with positional dominance and nose or headbutt. Okay? But if they are still, aggro on something or completely distracted, what you're going to need to do is, even in a distracted state, they will still do a command that you say, right? If you're just trying to get them to sit, right? They might still be barking at something, but they'll still sit, right? If you have that type of situation going on, what you're going to want to do is, good boy, yeah, down, yeah, good boy, right? This position right here, okay? Fully flat on their side, your hands right here. This position is not about the pressure. Do not let them go belly up. All right, that's a bailout for them. No, you tell them no, down. And the entire time you're doing this, you're telling them, good boy. Yeah, you're a good boy, down. Right? And you just hold them like this. Right? You see body tension, you're going to have body tension. Your goal is to hold them here until their body tension relaxes. Right? And you're going to be able to tell that their body tension relaxes whenever they put all four of their legs on the ground. Okay? This is prone dominant. You can do it with one finger. All right? After you get them in this position, it's not about the pressure. It's about the position. Okay? We are not slamming them into the ground in any type of way. You're getting their attention and you're praising them because they're doing what you say, instead of what they wanted to do or bark at. And they're just going to calm down. It could take up to 5, 10 minutes. It could take 1 minute. Every dog is different. All right? This prone dominance, last resort. Okay? You're not doing this more than once a week. Twice a week if it's utterly necessary. If you're doing this more than once a day, you're completely doing it wrong. No, don't do it. Good boy. Good boy. Stay. All right? Prone dominance. Very powerful. This position is mentally significant to them. Okay? Stay. Stay. Good boy. This position is mentally significant to them. Okay? Not only are you muting them and taking away all of their defenses, right? You're physically over them. So you're doing positional dominance and muting them and taking away their defenses. Right? It's very submissive. See that? He relaxed. Put his arm down. In normal circumstances, I'd let him go. But right now, I'm doing a video. I'll give him a walk after this, so don't worry. Prone dominance. Not about the force. Good boy. Good boy. Stay. It is important. No, we're not going to go into that. So, prone dominance. Just leave it at that. Before you do any of these dominance techniques that I've taught you in this video, I'd like to tell you about an introductory dominance called paw dominance. Okay? And paw dominance often happens when you initially meet a dog, or if you're initially coming into a door, you haven't been with the dog for a while. That is a dominance handshake for them. They come up to you and put both paws on you unsolicited. You didn't give them permission, they're just doing it. If you pet them after that, you're acquiescing and basically saying, okay, you get to decide what's going to happen from here on out. If instead you tell them no and give them a command, right, and making sure they do that command, then you get to say what happens from then on out. Okay? It's a very important concept you need to learn. Because if you've been allowing them to just get on you this whole time, you've been telling them that they're in charge this whole time. But now, you want to make sure they behave. They have some sort of behavior that you're not able to fix. So you have to introduce them to the fact that, no, I know your language. You go down. Okay? So they put your paws on you, say no. Take their feet, put them on the ground, give them a command. If they follow the command, you praise them, it's over. And then you can tell them heel or whatnot and walk with them and start giving them other commands. Because they want to play, right? So they're going to do any command you say because for them, that's playing. Okay. Now, you're talking to them how they talk to themselves. So if you haven't established that you're the one leading previously, right, your hands are right here. Depending on if they respect you or not, they might nose you to the face, tooth you to the face, headbutt you with your hands down here. So watch your face. Make sure you're paying attention. Okay? If they jump onto you again, now their ribs are exposed. Up, down. Did they go down? Boom. You're happy. Good boy. You're a good boy. He's just not used to being like that. I don't make him do this very often. Ribs are exposed, put him down. Or her down. Right? Now, you're going to lead. Eventually, you're just going to lead in all aspects. And their personality is going to change because they don't need to worry about leading anymore. And they can just be themselves. And whatever personality they have, you're going to see it all the time. Because they're going to be relying on you to lead. Because you're telling them you're going to lead in every aspect. Right? And they don't need to do whatever behavior that was. Because they're not leading in whatever behavior they were doing. Right? So the first step to success is to have a firm handshake. Right? Make sure they understand. They come up to you. It's not about paws on you. It's about them doing the command that you say. I'm going to tell you how important this is. A little bit before COVID, I walk out in front of my yard. I'm going to trim some trees or whatnot. And I see about 110-pound Doberman in front of my neighbor's yard. Now, there's some neighbors down the street. They see me come out. They're like, we don't know whose dog that is. Right? I look over, and they're telling me the mouth is kind of foamy. He could have rabies. I look over. I see he's got a collar on. He looks relatively clean. I think probably just escaped from some neighbor's yard, a few streets down or whatnot. So I'm in my driveway. He's in the driveway next to me. And he's kind of sizing me up. And I see his kind of tiny little tail kind of pointed straight out. Kind of looking at me. Top body. And then he starts making a beeline right toward me. But I'm reading his body. His tail starts to give a little wiggle. So I'm like, okay, that dog's not in any sort of hunting type of mode. And, tongue out, kind of silly dog type of run. And he comes up to me. I know a dog in that type of state is immediately going to start with paw dominance because they're going to want to play. But I don't know this dog. I'm not trying to play with this dog. So I know I have to win this handshake with a 110-pound Doberman I've never met. Okay? So he's running right toward me. I prepare myself. And right as he gets to me, I lift this knee straight up. Not to knee him in the rib cage or anything like that, but to catch that bone that he's got right here with the bottom of my knee. And as I catch it, I just slam my foot on the ground and bring him down. Immediately. It's like, okay, what do you want to do? His whole body calms down. I'm in charge. It's like, what are we doing next? Right? I put my hand over to kind of pet him a little bit just to see if I could. And he's immediately front teeth. I want to play. I want to play. I want to play. I want to play. I didn't want to play. I trimmed my trees. He just sat there watching me, just expecting me to play the entire time. Then I walk in my house. I never saw the dog again. That is the importance of that initial handshake. Doesn't matter how big the dog is, how small the dog is. Don't let them just put their paws on you unsolicited. Okay, that was an introduction to dominance. Rodney with K9Signs.net. All right. Okay. Yeah, good boy. Yeah.